Good morning students. Today we are learning about the blood groups in humans. Now humans have four different types of blood groups, that is A, B, AB and O. Now how this happens? Our RBCs, okay, red blood corpuscles or RBCs, on top of them they have this protein or antigen. So some of them will have these blood groups, or over this we have A antigen, some of them will have B antigen, some of them will have A as well as B, and some of them will have nothing. Now those who have the RBCs which have A antigen on the surface of it is called A blood group. The one which is having B antigen will be B blood group. The RBCs which have both antigens, that is A as well as B, are said to be AB blood group, and the one which is having no antigen will be O blood group, that is they don't have any antigens. Now what happens here? This is very important. Matching of blood groups, of compatibility of blood groups is very important in case of blood transfusion. So what happens here? We have donors on one side, and one side we have the recipient. So the blood group is A, then it will be able to donate the blood to A, then and AB, and it will not be able to donate blood to B and O. Now B blood group will be able to donate blood to B and AB and not to A and O. AB blood group will be able to donate the donor only to AB, because A will not have B, B blood group will not have A, O will not have anything, so it is not able to donate to others, only to AB. Whereas O blood group, because it doesn't have any antigen, it can donate to all. Now, because of this, O blood group can donate to all. Because of this, blood group O is called the universal donor. It can donate to all blood groups. Whereas AB blood group can receive blood from all blood groups. So it is called a universal recipient. Okay. Now coming to the compatibility, as I have said, what will happen if A blood group person donates blood to B blood group? Then what will happen is, this B person will have B on the antigen. A, when it is donated, the A blood is donated to a B person, then for the B person it will be like foreign material or germs. So they will start producing antibodies against that. So there will be clumping of cells taking place, and in a long time the person will die. So because of this, the blood transfusion, the A blood group can only donate to A and AB because it has A. Otherwise B and O, this condition will take place, that clumping of cells, and the person will die. So there is a chart given in your books also, you can refer to it. Now B blood group can only donate to B and AB. If it donates to A, the same condition will occur again. That is, A blood group person will produce antibodies against B. So again clumping of cells will take place and the person may die. Okay. So because of this, there is they just take it for very important that the blood transfusion compatibility is a must. Anybody cannot donate blood to anyone. The blood groups should be matching only. Okay. Now coming to another factor, you must have heard sometimes that there is B positive people and B negative people, or A positive, A negative, or AB positive, AB negative, O positive, O negative. Now what does this means? There is another factor, another thing. It will be done in the higher classes, but that factor is called RH factor. Along with the antigen A, if the blood cell also have in their blood Rh factor is there, it is called positive. So A positive is it has A antigen as well as Rh. A negative is it has A antigen and Rh is not there, so negative. Now B, same thing with B. If B positive means it has antigen B and Rh factor, and if it is negative means B, it has B antigen and no Rh factor. Coming to AB, AB positive will have Rh factor, AB negative will have only A and B antigens, no Rh factor in them. And O positive, O negative, O positive will have Rh factor with no antigens, and O negative will be without antigens, but Rh factor will be also not there. So these are Rh positive and negative also are very important to match for blood transfusion. We just cannot match these A, B, AB and O. This compatibility chart, along with this, whether it is positive or negative is also important. That is, positive people can give only blood to positive people and negative people can give blood to negative people. Okay, otherwise it will be again problem. Now, blood donation is done and this blood is kept in some place called blood bank. Okay, so it is a voluntary procedure. It is not like compulsory. Anyone can donate blood, but they have to be healthy, fit and above certain age, I think 18. So normally a blood which is taken is just 420 ml. Okay, is withdrawn from a donor at one time. They cannot withdraw more than that. A blood bank is a place where blood is collected and kept, okay, and it is stored till the recipient requires it. Now coming to some disease of the heart. The next is some disease of the heart. The first one is palpitations. Now sometimes when you go run a running race or for PT period you run and come back, you must have seen this or realized that your heart beats little faster than normal. Now that is common, that is okay, because palpitations, if you experience when you run or when you jog or after a tedious activity, it is normal, and after some time the nervous system takes care of it to bring it back to normal. Now sometimes what happens, it is also because of stress and anxiety. But if this happens without any stress, anxiety, and you are not run, suddenly in the middle of the night or when you are calm, sitting, it starts happening, then it is a condition of the heart. So palpitations are some condition of some problem with the heart. So especially if it is accompanied with shortness of breath or dizziness or even some chest pain and palpitations together, it is surely a condition of some problems of the heart. So we are just doing some heart related problems here. So the second one is hypertension. When you have high blood pressure, okay, this condition occurs in people where the blood flows through the blood vessels with a force greater than normal. Everyone has have heard about blood pressure. So in the arteries you can feel the pressure and you can feel the pulse, the heartbeats, at the same time you can feel the pulse. So it goes with a lot of force as the heart is pumping it with a lot of force so that it moves in the whole body. Sometimes this force is more than that normal force, and that is called high blood pressure. So what happens is, when hypertension can strain the heart, it can put pressure on your heart and damage the blood vessels, okay, and increase the risk of heart attack and sometimes a stroke. Now the next condition is heart attack. In your textbook it is just spelling mistake is there, heat attack, just make it heart. Okay, what happens in heart attack? In a heart attack there are coronary artery taking the blood to the heart itself, okay, and when the heart muscles use it, the cells and tissues of the heart use it, oxygen is used up, the carbon dioxide is given up into the blood, it is taken back to the heart back for circulation by the coronary vein. Now here what happens, when this is disturbed or blocked, the blood going to the heart itself is blocked, okay, then it is causing heart attack. It is not happening in one day. When the clogging takes place, the blood starts flowing less and less to a part of the heart, some part of the heart is getting less blood. That means they are getting less oxygen also. So that part cells slowly die off, and after a long time, when the clogging is more, the blood flow is totally stopped or very little. So cells of the heart do not get oxygen at all, and that part dies off. Sometimes the heart does not reach through the coronary artery at all, and then it is called a heart attack. So it causes cardiac muscles dies and causes a permanent damage to the heart. So however, the heart will still function. It is a part of the heart. In a heart attack, what happens is a part of the heart is not getting blood flow and oxygen, and sends blood around the body. That is happening, but this is happening only when the coronary artery is affected by this clogging. Okay, so some common symptoms of the heart attack include uncomfortable feeling or tightness, squeezing pain in the center of the chest. All these, the discomfort of pain spreading beyond the chest to the shoulders. Okay, also there is pain in the neck region, jaw, teeth, all these. Sometimes they say the tongue, you are not able to hold your water when you are gargling, it will just fall off. This is some signs of a heart attack: shortness of breath, dizziness, nausea, etc. Now there is another condition called, the fourth one, that is called a cardiac arrest. Now cardiac arrest is different from a heart attack because it's not the same. A cardiac arrest is when the heart suddenly stops pumping the blood around the body. Heart attack is when the blood stops coming to the heart itself, whereas a cardiac arrest is when the heart pumps the blood, it goes to all the body, to different arteries. So suddenly it will stop pumping blood to the body, and that is called a cardiac arrest. So here what happens is, the person is not getting, all the cells are not getting oxygen, because blood takes oxygen to them. So suddenly a person will lose consciousness and will stop breathing completely. Okay, some people may have a chest pain, shortness of breath. The both ways, in heart attack as well as the cardiac arrest, the symptoms are same, but here the person loses consciousness immediately and falls down, collapses. Okay, it usually results in death. Okay, in this case. So the most common cause of cardiac arrest is coronary artery disease, if the person has, wherein the walls of the arteries thicken as a result of the fat or plaque deposition. Sometimes it is less common, include major blood loss sometimes, or lack of oxygen, low potassium levels in the blood, or heart failure. And intense physical exercise also can lead to cardiac arrest when the blood is not flowing, okay, to the body well. The reasons can be different. So if proper first aid is given in time, then the patient can get the right treatment at the right time. Chances of recovery from a cardiac arrest are bright. Like a person can be recovering completely also. So what is the difference between a cardiac arrest and a heart attack? I've just told you. Normally people consider cardiac arrest as a heart attack because they feel it's the same, but they're quite different. As I've told you, during the heart attack, the flow of blood to the heart is interrupted, and during a cardiac arrest, the heart stops pumping blood to other parts of the body. Okay, so a person having a heart attack is at high risk of experiencing cardiac arrest. So both ways, both heart attack and cardiac arrest are life-threatening because medical aid is not given in time. A person can collapse and die. Now, what can be done? Okay, in these cases, what can be done? So first thing is calling an ambulance or doctor immediately is very important. Okay, helping the person to sit or lie down so that the blood flows. Okay, so to reduce the pressure on the heart. Then performing chest compression, only those who know can do it well. Simply anyone cannot do it. Pumping the heart by external cardiac massage can be done so that to improve the blood circulation until the ambulance arrives. Also mouth to mouth respiration is done, but even here you should know it well. Simply you cannot. Now the person should be breathing for all these. It should not be unconscious. Okay, it's very difficult. You cannot put water in the mouth of the patient who has a heart attack or cardiac arrest, because it will interfere with the system. Okay, now what we can do to keep our hearts healthy? Okay, we can try to keep our hearts healthy. So what we can do is we can take care of one's health by not eating the junk food. What is affecting our arteries and what brings about the clogging of the arteries is the fat things what we eat. Okay, so to protect one from heart disease, okay, from first only you have to have a good healthy lifestyle. Don't eat junk food. Once in a way it's okay. Food should be good, they should be regular, exercise, drink proper water, have proper sleep also. Okay. Now avoid too much of oily and fried foods, because they are the one which causes the fat accumulation. Excessive eating of any fast foods like pizza, burger every day is very bad for your heart. Okay, so eating lots of vegetables and fruits will help. Then avoid eating excessive amount of sweet foods also, because they are bringing too much sugar in your body. The sugar, when it is more, it is converted into fat. Now it causes obesity also. Obesity or excessive weight is very common problem today. If the child is thin, there is no problem, they say, but obesity is the main cause of stress related disease. One of them is the heart disease. Now playing outdoor games is a good form of to keeping your heart healthy, but today we cannot go out much because of this lockdown and all, but skipping at home will really help. Jogging at home will really help. Okay, now playing also regular walking, jogging and cycling can help in a long run to keep your body fit and healthy always. Now why does sometimes your heart beat faster after you come from a race, running race, or after running? This is because your blood is more going to the leg muscles require more blood, because it requires more oxygen when you run, and that is why for more blood to come to the legs, what the heart does is it beats faster, so pumps faster and more blood is sent to the legs. So this way it is more blood comes to the legs, and that is why you feel the palpitation. So it is normal after a running race or a PT period. So that is fine. So with this we finish the lesson. What I want you to do is review questions. Okay, are there in your textbook? There is a lot of space provided. So I want you to complete them. Only the long answers